Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Menashe. On today's show, we're talking about the role social media might be playing in our world becoming increasingly polarized. The extreme viewpoints that are making headlines in the U.S. have been shocking to say the least. I never thought we would see the day when armed citizens were lined up outside polling stations. This is the United States of America, not some third world banana republic. Some think that these extreme views are strictly a U.S. phenomenon, but I can tell you the same trends are happening in Canada and the UK. The news media are increasingly fighting for viewership, but the days of tuning into the nightly news at 11 p.m. are largely over. So many people are watching segments of those newscasts on social media. These longer shows, 30, 60, 90-minute shows, are being carved up into segments, anywhere from 2 minutes in length to about 15 minutes in length. That's about the attention span of the person scrolling through social media feeds. But then they're consuming that content, not on television, but on social media. So now let's talk about what you and I get to see on social media. The social media algorithms are designed to maximize your time on the platform. Their goal is to hang on to your eyeballs for as long as possible, and the longer you're staring at the screen, the more ads can be presented to you, and the more ad revenue the social media platform will get. When you're looking at social media, the content being presented to you is not the product. This is a backwards economic model. It's actually modeled after the free television model. You see, when you go to the department store and you buy a toaster for $30, the toaster is the product. You're the customer, there's an exchange of money for value, and you buy the product. That's how commerce works. But when you attend a free seminar or watch television with advertising or spend time on social media with advertising, you are the product. That's right, you are the product. The customer is the advertiser, and your attention span is the product that's for sale to the advertiser. So the algorithms are designed to maximize your attention span. And if your interest is in model trains, the algorithms will show you more model trains. And if your interest is in gardening, you'll see more posts about gardening. And if you self-identify as a conservative or a liberal or libertarian, you'll tend to see more of that content. That feeds into what is called confirmation bias. If you believe the earth is flat, then you're going to see more posts that confirm the earth is flat. You won't tend to see those posts that confirm the earth is round. In your world, the earth is flat. Social media algorithms have tried to become more socially responsible in the presentation of news content in particular. So lately, you've been presented with some of the opposing viewpoints in an effort to try and balance things out. But there's a problem. Rather than opening your mind to the opposing viewpoint, many of those differing viewpoints are some of the most extreme. And when you see the extreme viewpoint from the other side, it generally isn't convincing. In fact, it has the opposite effect of being repulsive. When the opposing opinion is repulsive, it has the effect of hardening the original viewpoint even further. So why is that extreme viewpoint being presented? The algorithm tends to favor posts that have lots of views, or channels that have strong subscriber base. So if you have a YouTube post that comes from someone with 100 followers compared with an account with 100,000 followers, well, that account with 100,000 followers is going to get wider distribution than the one with 100 followers. And it kind of makes sense to some degree. So let's look at titles that will get the most viewership. What causes a post to go viral? It has to be unusual, it has to be shocking, out of the ordinary in order to capture attention. And that's what the industry calls clickbait. Or in the old days in television and radio, they called that a hook. Imagine there's two headlines. One of them says, Senator at ribbon cutting ceremony for a retirement home. Senator at ribbon cutting ceremony for a retirement home. The second headline says, corruption probe and sex scandal involving senator and their inner circle. The question is, which of those two headlines will get more views, all other things being equal? Well, you know the answer, of course. It's the second one that's going to get way more views. The social media algorithm will present the corruption probe video ahead of the ribbon-cutting ceremony every time. Finally, we're seeing a lot of controversy surrounding both Facebook and Twitter for having censored content. Many of these decisions are being made by people, not a software algorithm. The question of political bias cannot be swept under the rug. It further erodes the trust in what's being published, which creates the pretext for rejecting what's being served up on social media as fake news. That only serves to harden positions even more. Now, I don't have all the answers here. I come from the tech world, and I can imagine being in those software design meetings where the algorithms are being discussed. Social media is not to blame per se. I feel like we're witnessing a train wreck on a social level in slow motion. Perhaps the only antidote for now is for each of us to seek out the opposing viewpoint, but the moderate, centrist viewpoint, not the extremes. As you think about that, have an awesome rest of your day. Go make some great things happen. Talk to you again tomorrow.